All right, Alex.
What you seeing?
I got 122 flag, 107 front, uphill. I'm excited to share with you a lot of the lessons I've learned on the golf course to make you not only a better golfer, but a golfer that people are going to enjoy playing with more. Hello, friend. My name is Scott Epstein, also known as Scottie the Caddie, and welcome to the Links and Lifestyle Podcast. I'm grateful to be here and thankful that you're taking the time to listen. We have one topic this week. We're going to talk about RBC Heritage Week down here at Harbour Town Golf Links in beautiful Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. With our partnership with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, combined with Melissa's real estate success, I had one of the most enjoyable and impactful weeks of my entire adult life. Shout out to Michael Squints Polidorus from the Sandlot, which is one of our favorites. Let's dive in. Tuesday morning, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which is our purpose partner with Links and Lifestyle, had their annual breakfast Tuesday morning in which a player comes to speak. The player was going to be Jacob Bridgman, who through a contact in our network was given information about our business, and we were really looking forward to meeting him. Monday night, something came up, and we got there Tuesday morning, and Russell Henley was the fill-in instead, who has spoken there before, and Russell was great. He was adaptable with his schedule, and our box that had Jacob's name on it, we were adaptable and gave it to Russell. Few things that he shared in his testimony that I wanted to highlight and talk about. At Augusta the prior week and 2 days before, he was in the mix down the stretch. He finished tied for fourth at 10 under par, and he talked about the back nine and what that was like. And what I really got from it was he said that he was just going to enjoy the moment. He wasn't going to worry about it. He was going to let it rip, playing that back nine for him, just like many others, and hitting those shots that golf fans are familiar with on those holes. Is something he dreamed about doing his entire life. And he was going to enjoy it, turn it over to God. Whatever the results were going to be, the results were going to be. And he had some great shots, and that was one of the highest finishes he's ever had at a major. And, his testimony was great. The other thing he talked about was just his story and his family and his now wife. When they first met, he was not a man of deep faith, and she was. And, she wanted that, for her and also for him if she was going to get serious with him. And so she guided him along in that journey, and they got into the Bible and into their faith together, and they have a beautiful family, young children, and more than anything, have the right priorities. For them, it's faith, family, and golf. And frankly, that's something that we can take in. But a lot of golfers are sort of walking in that life, and we'll talk more about that as we dive into this. Wednesday night of Heritage Week each year is a kickoff party hosted by Laura Peters and the late Raleigh Peters, right in Sea Pines and at Harbour Town. It's been about a year since Raleigh passed, and I'm excited to dive into that more next week, and the impact that he had on me, and the impact that he and Laura had and still have in our lives and our marriage. So stay tuned for that. The caliber of people there is it's unbelievable. There's quite a few Secession members there, which have now become friends, and just a gathering of people that live life the right way, have a deep faith, talk about Jesus, have meaningful, powerful, impactful conversations, and it was just a magical night. It had been for a very long time. We were there in 2024. That was our first time there, and after being there, I had shared with one of my friends and members at Secession that it was a great crowd to be at, and I felt like I belonged. And he reiterated that I do belong, and that we do belong in that environment, and that was really, really cool. People bring presents for Laura, wine, gift certificates. We brought our April box. She's been on this journey with us, and she opened it. She really enjoyed it, and we had a good God wink from Raleigh, who I know is watching us in this journey. On the mug, there was a Bible verse that was Joshua 1:9, which states, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And she shared that was one of RP's favorite Bible verses, and we just had a good smile about that. And so like I said, Wednesday night was fantastic, was a lot of fun. Thursday was the first round of the RBC Heritage. The tournament started, 82 players, and we went. It was the first time I had been. Melissa does a lot of business in Margaritaville. She's a rock star realtor on top of everything else she does. And so for one reason or another, I just had never been. Work at Secession's busy that week, and I pulled the trigger on going, and it was great. Their tent was right by the 18th tee box, and plenty of drink and food was available. And non-sober Scott would have had a totally different experience than sober Scott. The free drinks, the transfusions, the pomonas, they would have been flowing. And instead they weren't. I drank water, I ate food, and was able to take it all in and really enjoy it and not do anything embarrassing to myself or to Melissa, which was neat. We didn't walk the course much. We just kind of hung out around the back nine. It was hot out. More to come on walking the golf course. But it was just, it was really fun. It was nice to be around some of her colleagues in her office and other realtors and clients in Margaritaville. And just our community, just Heritage and this area, Hilton Head, is just filled with nice, wonderful people. Friday was just a regular loop at the golf course, but we had gotten an opportunity late Thursday to be an observer, a inside the ropes observer on Saturday. And so we took the pass. At that moment, Melissa was going to do it, but after speaking to my brother Friday morning, he's like, this is what you've always wanted to do for the channel, for the content. You're absolutely crazy not to. And I was a little in my head. I was scheduled to work Saturday. I had already asked for Sunday morning off. I have 3 days coming up in early May. We've got a couple of events for our business, but I decided I was going to do it. Jimmy, who I've spoken to about before, was really flexible, totally understanding when I got to work on Friday, and I was going. And I was pumped. It was like Christmas for a 47-year-old guy. It was really hard to sleep that night. We waited till the end of play, and I got an email with my golfers. I was teeing off at 10:15 with Sam Burns and Nick Taylor, and I was just stoked. It was really hard to sleep that night, but I did. I kind of tossed and turned, and the alarm went off, and Saturday hit, and we were ready to roll. I had a VIP parking pass, so I got to park inside Harbour Town, get on a trolley, and Honorary Observer, game on. Our names were announced on the first tee, which was really neat. I got to do it with a colleague of Melissa's, Taylor, who's also a golfer and really enjoyed the process as well. The both players introduced themselves to us, so we got to meet Sam and Nick before we teed off. And the deal was we just stay out of the way. We're on the tee boxes. We walk behind them, not to get in the way, keep it in the rough, but get greenside, and literally had a front row seat to everything that was going on. It was really amazing. Both players introduced themselves to us, as well as the standard bearer, person who holds the sign, who I knew, who's a student in the area, knows my kids and my wife, and it was just epic. Great golf course. Have seen it on TV forever, and just really tight, really small greens. You've really got to golf your ball, be in the right spots. I'm not a big fan of the bomb and gouge 25 under TPC golf courses that they play often on tour. And, you play well, you can shoot 6, 7 under. Sam Burns shot 6 under and played really well. Or you can shoot 5, 6 over, which guys do all the time there. There were 2 really neat experiences inside the ropes that I want to talk about. 14, which is a tough par 3, one of the signature holes there. Sam Burns, who's a top 15 player and one of the best putters on tour, had about a 6-footer for birdie, and he lined it up. He started it left of the hole, and the putt went left. He misread the putt. One of the best putters in the world completely misread the putt. He couldn't believe it. I looked at it again from both sides. His caddy Dylan came in, and he just misread the putt. But when they were coming off the green, his caddy Dylan said, listen, we're doing great. Just, hit a good drive. Let's just keep going. Pumped him up, encouraged him, just like Scottie the Caddie does. But also, if he can misread a putt, me and my other caddy brethren who are listening can miss putts as well. We're all human. The other thing that really stuck out was he had a shot in the trees where they walked off the yardage. He and Dylan discussed the shot in detail, just like I would at Secession or Matita Conch, and he pulled off the shot. He was trying to hit it just short of the green on the left, and they pulled off the shot, and that was really cool. Just like all the time at work. They finished the round. I got to walk, again, the entire golf course. Holes 16 through 18 are the signature close there, and we're just beautiful. TV doesn't do justice for how nice they are. They shook hands with us, thanked us for walking with them. When they finished signing at the scoring tent, we got a signed golf ball from each of them. I snapped a picture with Sam, which I posted on our socials, and I'll give the balls to Alex when he comes back home in a couple weeks. And like I said, it was just amazing. Big thanks to Melissa. Big thanks to Stuart at Margaritaville, who gave us the look, which was great. Handwritten notes already been sent to him. We're a big handwritten note family. And again, I'm just very present to the fact that without God, without my sobriety, without Jesus, an opportunity like that, frankly, wouldn't come up. So that was really neat. The last big heritage moment and experience I want to talk about is the FCA sunrise service at Liberty Oak on Sunday morning near the lighthouse at Harbour Town. Ted Scott, who's Scottie Scheffler's caddy and one of the best caddies in the world, delivered the message and has a connection with FCA, which we'll talk about. His story was very powerful and his testimony was great. Caddying kind of found him. He was a really good golfer in his early 20s, but he realized very quickly that he wasn't good enough to compete with those guys out there. And so he became a student. He got exposed to caddying and got asked to do it a few weeks in a row. And he said something that was really interesting that we can all take in. He said, if you want to get better at something, lean into someone who knows more about it than you do, right? We've talked about learn it, earn it, return it. Just in anything we do, being a learner is so important. He's won 2 Masters with Bubba Watson. He's won 4 majors and counting with Scottie Scheffler. And one of the things he talked about the players is they're all human. They have stuff going on just like we do. Work, kids, wives, aging parents, you name it. He's got some stuff going on in his life. His nephew, it's now public, 11-year-old, was shot by another 11-year-old in Louisiana at a basketball court, and his nephew's not able to walk. And so it's sad. Obviously, it's tragic. And he still leans into God around it. There's times that are very tough, and there's times that he needs to be tough and show that face and have that armor, for his family and his loved ones. But he gives all of the glory and things in his life to God. One of the things he said was really cool. He said, I know some stuff, but I don't know nearly as much as that guy. And that guy is who I lean into and who's going to help. So we got to meet and chat with him for a couple minutes. Thank you to our contact, Caroline, and the other leaders at Fellowship of Christian Athletes that are helping us in our business journey. We got to snap a couple pictures with him, and we gave him our April box, for both him and Scottie. We'll see what comes of it. At this moment, it's in God's hands, but at the very least, we bless them with it, and they know what we're up to. So the last thing I want to say is I think what makes him and Scottie a great team, which he talked about, is that they have the same technology and they have the same values: faith, family, and golf in that order. So good on them. We root for them. They lost to Matt Fitzpatrick in a playoff, but Scotty's not quite 30 years old yet, and for many, he's entering the prime years of his career. So if you're enjoying this podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share on the platform you're watching or listening to. It helps on the algorithm and all that fun stuff that I don't understand. Big finish. Win for the week, challenge, Bible verse. Win for the week, Saturday at the RBC as an Honorary Observer was just incredible. When the week started, it was not on my bingo card, and it just came as a surprise and just a wonderful, wonderful experience. The week was a grind. We were on Hilton Head Island 5 times over the course of the week, on top of caddying, on top of real estate, on top of the other things going on in our lives. And we pushed through it. We enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And we just, we had laser-like focus and discipline throughout the week. Made good eating choices, stuck with night abs. Summer bod is still going. Challenge. Along that same line was just getting it all done. Both of us. I'm no different than you listeners out there, but we have a lot going on. Marketing, content, family, caddying, real estate, kids, parents, school activities, making the right choices, making the absolute best decision in each moment and avoiding temptation. This week, we're not going to Hilton Head Island. We're still very busy, but I got through the week and felt really powerful as a result of it. And lastly is Bible verse. What I chose this week is from Proverbs 16, verse 3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Entrust God with every aspect of your life, and he will direct, bless, and bring success to your plans according to his will. It's so important for me to turn it over. I learned that in sobriety, and even more so in my walk now. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's beyond my control. It's already written, and it's my job just to step into it and be prepared. Commit to God not just in spiritual matters, but in practical, everyday decisions. I talk to God on the course all the time, sometimes out loud. One of the guy I work with the most, P3, has just gotten used to it. I'm talking to God. He's like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's kind of stopped asking who I'm talking to. It's just part of me. Faith and trust. Rely on his wisdom rather than personal understanding. So true. I know some stuff. I don't know nearly as much as he does. And that was something Ted said, which I really identified with. I lean into him and just let it all happen. And lastly, peace of mind. Trusting brings calmness and confidence. Outcomes are in his hands and ultimately serve good purposes. That speaks for itself. I couldn't agree more. This entire week was just all of that. It's in his hands. It serves good purposes. Nothing is being put on my plate that's not being put there for a reason, and isn't something that I can handle, and isn't something that I'm going to learn from and make me better. God bless. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.